Yo, what it do, everybody, man? It's Saturday. It's time to talk that good old wrestling. Welcome, everybody to the 11:30 podcast. Talk pro wrestling. What's good? How everybody doing out there? Appreciate everyone definitely tuning in, man. We live here on Twitch, X, Facebook, and YouTube, man. So definitely, you watching on YouTube or wherever you watching, man, definitely like, follow, and also definitely do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button down below, you guys, man. Leave a comment, like it, share it, and don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. Now, all right, man. Of course, I always got my producer slash director, my son, in the background. In case you hear him making some noise, though, he's also watching TV too. But you guys, man, WWE Clash at the Castle, man, just went down. We're gonna be chatting Clash at the Castle reviews. Also, man, TNA against all odds, man. What an event that was last night following SmackDown, and a lot more, man. For real, I'm not alone, you guys, man. But the first time guest here on the 11:30 podcast, you guys, man. He's the host of Snug Wrestling podcast, you guys. The host, Edgar, is going to be joining me here on the show. Also, they go by Snug though. But he's gonna be here on this week's episode of Talk Pro Wrestling. I ain't gonna waste no more time. I'm gonna bring on my guy. What's going on with you, partner?
Yo, what's up, Jay? What's up,
Hey, how's
man?
it going? Hey,
Good,
man.
good, good. Happy early Father's Day, man.
Thank you. Yeah, that slipped my mind for a moment though. My fiance was just talking about it too. So yeah, happy Father's Day to you, man.
I,
How's life
I,
treating you?
I appreciate it. Good, man. I just got done watching a great show. Enjoying the lovely California weather out here. Having a nice little beverage too to go with it. Everything's good, man. Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem, no problem. We were chatting just before the show, man, and chatting how me and Edgar got, connected on TikTok, man. I was, giving my opinions on wrestling as I always do. Edgar was like, "Yo, man, I dig it, man, and love the exchange." I'll be on his podcast as well, and having him here on Talk Pro Wrestling on this week's edition. So you said you're from California, right?
Yes, from the capital, Sacramento, California. Not to
Okay.
be confused because a lot of people when they hear the capital of California, they think it's like LA or something. Nope. Sacramento, the 916.
Okay, cool. How long you been a wrestling fan?
Since I can remember, dude, it's just like one of those things that it's a nostalgia thing for me, man. Like I got memories of watching wrestling as a kid with my dad, and it's just like ever since then, man, is one of the many things that I learned from my dad is wrestling. So it just takes me back to the good old days, man, when I was a kid watching wrestling. And then I stopped watching it for a bit because to be honest, it was really bad for some time. Like, I think
Mm,
if you think back to like 2009, 2000, between like 2009 to like 2012, I want to say, I like
yeah.
stopped watching it because the product was so bad. And then I started watching it again a little bit after that. Started, going back and forth with some friends, text messages, and we would talk about it all the fucking time. And it was just like, hey, man, let's do something with this. And
Mm.
yeah, man. And then ever since then, I've been nonstop just watching wrestling all the time. I still get shit for it. I get made fun of a lot.
Okay.
But I'm like, man, I don't care. I like it. They're like, why do you like it? Why? I just do. All right. I just fucking mind your
Well,
business. I like it.
well, yeah, I dig it. What was the moment that got you back into it? Because I thought it was interesting. You said you said 99, because that was sort of like the heat of the Attitude Era. You
No, when I
know,
when I stopped watching, it was like 2009 when I stopped
oh,
watching.
2009. Okay, got you,
Yeah,
got you. Oh
that's when
yeah,
it was
gotcha.
like really, really bad. I think that was like when
Well,
Nexus was happening, and
ah,
we had people like Ryback that were like in the main event, and just a whole bunch of the Miz. The
you bringing
Miz,
back memories, man.
the Miz was like relevant at that time, and
Yeah,
it was
he was
just such a
champion.
bad time in wrestling. Such a bad time.
Oh, what was it? They got you back into it.
It was just chopping it up with friends about it.
Okay.
I reconnected with some old friends from like high school, and then
Okay.
yeah, they were like, "Oh yeah, I've been watching wrestling. You've been me too." And then we just started talking about it, and the more like I started talking about it with them, that's what got me really more into it, like hardcore, you know. And I
Got you.
wasn't ashamed to tell my friends about it. Like I used to be ashamed to tell them like, "Oh yeah, I watched that fake shit," you know. But then it turned out that they also liked it, so
Yeah.
it got more interesting. It's more fun that way when you can enjoy it with other people instead of just like, you know, yourself. So anytime, you know, I get the opportunity to talk about wrestling with like people like you, then I'm like, I'm all for that because I love it.
Hey, that's what's up, man. I like that. I definitely like it, man. I got into wrestling late 98, 99 ish. Been watching it ever since, though. I hear a lot of people's stories, even coming on the podcast, how they, of course, was watching it since they were little, but, fell off of it, and you definitely came back. And then how you mentioned, you got into it with your dad. And more
Yeah,
so, it was like a friend who was over the house and was just like, "Yo, man, you watch wrestling? I don't even know what that is. Let's go check it out." And from
yeah,
there, I just fell in love with it. And then you mentioned, like you said, your dad, and
yeah.
hearing those stories too. I got me being a dad now. My little man, he loves Seth Rollins, so you hear him in the background talking about "Bernie,
Oh, that's
Bernie,"
awesome, dude.
yeah,
That's awesome.
all day long. That's what I'm telling you. My YouTube, the history is nothing but Seth Rollins videos.
Yeah, that's
So that's
good, man. That
yeah, yeah.
we gotta get the younger generation into it, like they got us into it, because
Hmm.
later on down the line, that's gonna be the future fans of wrestling. You know, the future. We got to get this thing going. It's getting bigger. It's getting stronger. So it's important to get like gotta get them young, dude. I know it sounds kind of weird or whatever, but you know, most likely if the kids are into wrestling when they're young, kind of
Hmm.
like us, they're gonna be into it when they're older, and that's what's keeping wrestling alive. So that's good that your kid's into it. I try to get my kid, he's 14, to get into it, and he's like, man, I ain't watching this shit. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it go like that sometimes. Sometimes it go like that. Well, Edgar, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Here on Talk Pro Wrestling this week, man. We was just chatting also about how Clash at the Castle just went down, man. We're gonna do some reviews of the show, man. What was your thoughts on the show, and
I
we
felt
can go
like,
by.
dude, it felt the energy in that crowd made half of the show. It
Mhm.
didn't even feel like I was watching a wrestling show. It felt like I was watching like a soccer match with all the
Yeah.
cheering and all the chanting. Like, I'm actually right now. I'm at my uncle's house. We're having a little pre Father's Day barbecue, and I had it on the TV, and he was like, "Who's playing right now?" I'm like, "Ain't no one playing. This is not a soccer game. This is I'm watching wrestling." Like, God damn, that crowd is lit. I'm like, "Yeah, dude, they're going crazy. They're in Scotland." So that made the show really great. The matches. Oh, we'll get into the matches. But they were also really good matches. There was a lot of good Gaga. How some people call it, the stuff that we saw with Otis. It was an entertaining fucking show, man. It was a good time.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I think these international crowds, man, have definitely been. I think it was. I think the backlash in Puerto Rico was sort of the
Oh,
start of all of this international flavor that's going on
yes.
right now. Because last year backlash in France, man, it was insane. And then you had backlash where they were just at a few moments ago, a few weeks ago. I can't yeah, no, it was in Puerto Rico.
Uh,
Then they were in Lyon, France.
they were in
So
France, yeah.
these these international crowds are something else. How you feel about them going forward when more
They're, they're really
taking place?
showing us out, man. They're really showing the US crowd how to throw down, man, and how to react to these wrestling shows, and it's working. The last few weeks I've been noticing the crowds in the US are trying to turn it up a little bit more too, and it's lovely, man. It's amazing. The m- yeah, I have a feeling WWE is going to do more shows in Europe, which is cool. Um,
Yeah.
WWE is going they're going through a great time right now, man. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time. I know they got of course, Money in the Bank is in Toronto, and of course, Bash in Berlin is in Berlin, Germany. It's a wonderful time for WWE and the international figures, though. But you
Damn.
like you said, Clash at the Castle was definitely off the chain, man. We kicked off the night with AJ Styles taking on Cody Rhodes in an I Quit match. We've seen Cody Rhodes retain his WWE Championship. I didn't see AJ Styles, sort of, winning this matchup, but it was cool how he pulled the Mark Henry out the closet and tricked everybody into baiting Cody Rhodes uh, back into a championship matchup. And like I said, it was an I Quit match, first time in some time. And I think it was the very telling thing about this match. I think that happened uh, yesterday at the kickoff countdown kickoff show, whatever. When Michael Cole asked AJ Styles if he doesn't get the job done, sort of what's next. And he also mentioned how AJ Styles is a former TNA heavyweight champion with the deal WWE and TNA is working with right now. I think, I think it would be great, especially with Slammiversary coming up and all these other big pay-per-views. Would you like to see AJ Styles go on to possibly do his thing in TNA or something like that, or see?
Oh, that's a good fucking question, dude. I was not expecting that one. Damn, dude, that's a stumper, man. Um, would I like to see him go to TNA? Not really, because I don't watch TNA. And this is just me being
Okay.
100% honest with you. I just don't got the time for it, dude, with my schedule. Like, there's so much fucking wrestling going on every day, every week that if AJ Styles goes to TNA, I think that would kind of be like a step down for him. I don't
Mm,
think I don't think AJ Styles wants to go out like that, man. Like, I think we are seeing the last few months, maybe hopefully years of AJ Styles. I think he's going to finish his career in the WWE. What we're going to see from AJ Styles, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised that he's in the spot that he's in now. After this, I don't know, man. I don't know what to expect from AJ Styles. I just know that whatever's next, it's probably a really small window. So we got to really appreciate the time that we have of seeing AJ Styles, because I think he's getting ready to retire, man.
hmm. Okay, yeah, I mean, I think that's coming up, but I don't think he's necessarily. I mean, I'm just, with a lot of things that been, the rumors and the buzz, especially like I mentioned with the WWE TNA, relationship. uh, seeing Moose talk about how he wanted to face Drew, and just fantasy
Hmm.
bookings and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily see AJ Styles going out, going back to TNA or anything like that. I think it's
Mm.
more so of crossover promotion. Obviously, that's
Yeah,
what
for
he,
sure. Yeah, I
been
mean,
doing that for a while.
I would love to see Moose come over to the WWE. Um, shit, if we can get some people like AJ Styles to go over to TNA,
Yeah.
maybe I that will get me to watch TNA.
Mm.
But right now, I'm not really interested in that. But yeah, let's get Moose over to the WWE. I want to see him in the WWE for sure. I want to see him go up against AJ Styles. I want to see Moose go up against shit anyone in the WWE. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Now we're gonna get right back to the whole WWE and TNA relationship. Cody Rhodes, though, how you feel about Cody Rhodes? Are you a Cody crybaby, or
I
you're sort of
am
Cody?
I am a huge Cody Crybaby. I'm a huge Cody Crybaby. I love Cody Rhodes. Oh my god, this guy, he's so fucking cool. I don't know how else to say it. Like, to put it in like the most simplest terms ever, Cody Rhodes is just the coolest fucking baby face, the coolest fucking guy in wrestling right now. He's amazing. I love Cody. Yeah. for sure.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool, man. I mean, I had to ask. Cody Rhodes has been on a hell of a journey, and I thought the matchup he had tonight at this afternoon at Clash of the Castle was very interesting. It's the first time we've seen Mama Rhodes since WrestleMania. We
Yeah,
also seen Cody Rhodes. First time seen him bleed since The Rock made him bleed, and
yeah,
AJ Styles whipped him with a belt. Last time we seen that was The Rock. So I
yeah,
don't know if they were trying to hint at a little, some things or
yeah,
not, but I think this was a wonderful match. I mean, Cody Rhodes is the man right now, top baby face in the company. What
yeah,
do you see? What's next for Cody Rhodes, or would like to see what's next in Cody Rhodes in this
yeah.
championship run that he's on?
Well, what I would like to see next from Cody Rhodes, I would like to see Cody Rhodes face someone like a Gunther or like a Braun Breaker. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, at least not yet. It might be too soon for that. That's just my dream match would be to see Cody defend versus a Gunther or someone like Braun Breaker, but I don't think we're going to be getting that anytime soon. We will
They
be
built,
getting those matches
yeah,
eventually, but right now, after what we saw, what went down after the match, it's looking like we're going to be seeing Cody Rhodes versus Solo.
yeah, that's what it looked like. Solo, that was very shocking too. Solo coming out there, obviously, calling himself sort of in a way the new tribal chief of this bloodline thing. So I
Yeah,
don't know. Braun Breaker, man. You mentioned Braun Breaker and Gunther. I know Gunther has a championship matchup for Mrs. Perspective Brand, which is Monday Night Raw. So that's the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam.
yeah,
Which I see him winning that. I mean, everything you put Gunther in, like I was telling people,
he's
man, the
winning.
yeah, the King of the Ring tournament was literally for him, and he won it, and he's going on to SummerSlam, and he's gonna be the World Heavyweight Champion. But Braun
Yeah.
Breaker, man, they're definitely building that guy up as to be something right now.
Yes, Braun Breaker is he's a natural fucking born talent. He's the future of the WWE. I'm pretty that's not even a question without a doubt. And I'm excited. I'm excited with what they're doing with Braun Breaker right now. And I'm excited about seeing him in the main roster finally. I feel
Hmm.
like this is long overdue. Braun Breaker should have been in that main roster. Fucking oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can cuss on here, but
Oh, you good? You good? You good?
he should have been on the main roster a year ago. Hell, maybe even 2 years ago. But we're finally getting Braun Breaker. We're finally seeing him in the main roster, and that is so exciting as for a
Yeah.
wrestling fan. Braun Breaker, he's the future, and I can't wait to see what they do with them.
Yeah, I can't disagree on that, man. I remember last year's WWE draft, or at least following last year's WWE draft, and Braun Breaker was really upset on NXT, and he was mad that how people who were there, less than Braun Breaker there, meaning NXT, he was sort of upset that he didn't get drafted, and he used a whole lot of animosity towards his matches, sparing the hell out of people. Then he worked
Yeah.
it with Carmelo Hayes, and then had that thing with Baron Corbin. So I definitely
Yeah.
see him, you
There was
know.
a lot there was a lot of people, sorry, not to cut you off, but
No, 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 no.
there was a lot of people that were getting called up to the main roster for like the past year or two, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
They called up this person before Braun Breaker. Braun fucking
Yeah.
Breaker is still in NXT, but this guy got called up. Okay, but whatever.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy though. But Bar Breaker definitely is going to be the future though. Before we get back into the Clash of the Castle reviewing and everything, Ricochet. We were just talking about Braun Breaker and how he just basically incapacitated Ricochet this Monday on Monday Night Raw. His contract is coming up. Do you see him resigning back with the WWE, or going over to try to have 5-star matches with Will Ospreay in AEW?
See, I'm one of those crazy conspiracy theorists that believes that
Mm,
this is all bullshit, and this is just a
okay.
way to kind of hype up Ricochet a little bit more, get some more attention on him. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think Ricochet is staying. I don't think Ricochet has a reason to leave.
He
I'm
doesn't.
sure. Yeah, I mean, recently he's been booked a whole lot better. He's been put over in most of his matches recently. He's getting more TV time. Um, I don't think I don't think it makes sense for Ricochet to leave right now. Like before, maybe like again, we go back to talking about a year ago. If you asked me a year ago, is Ricochet leaving? I would say yeah, probably because they're not doing anything with him. But now this is a whole different Ricochet. This is a Ricochet that won 50-50 again versus a Braun Breaker a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he's being presented way better. So I don't see Ricochet. I don't think he's leaving.
Nah, I mean, yeah, I don't think so neither though. Just as well as like Becky Lynch, her contract expired, about a month ago or something, man. And I just said to myself, she definitely just taking some time off to be a mom and work on being an author or whatever that the case may be. But
Yeah.
far as Ricochet though, of course, the latest he was WWE Speed Champion until he lost it to Andrade. But Ricochet hasn't, doesn't really have that, charismatic, you know,
Put the mic on him, bro. Let him talk, bro. He wants to talk about Ricochet too. Nah.
yeah, exactly. No, he doesn't really, have that, I don't know, that charisma, that, as a that full package though. He's very athletic though. But do
He
you ever
don't
see
got it,
Ricochet?
bro.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
don't
that's
he
what I'm.
don't got it.
That,
He don't got
well,
it.
well, I was just saying it with some respect though. But do
Yeah.
you see him? Do you see him as ever becoming WWE champion? And if he do resign, then what could Ricochet possibly, sort of do in
Turn
WWE?
heel. Turn
Okay.
heel. Yeah.
Mm.
That's the only thing he can do at this point. Just to, you know, you guys always overlook me. You guys think I'm this nice guy. Well, you guys are, you guys got me messed up. I'm gonna go off on people and I'm gonna show a whole different side of me that you guys have never seen before. I
Okay.
think he's got to do something like really drastic like that.
Mm.
Especially if he does end up staying, he has all this momentum going for him because people are talking about him now. Um, so if he does stay, he's just got to take advantage of all of this attention that's on him and just just try to do something different, man. Because what he's doing, it's cool. Okay, you can do the cool flips and this and that, and you got the girl, that's cool. But it's like,
She
at,
outshining him at this point.
yeah, yeah, and that's a problem,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, Ricochet, they gotta do something more with him, man. Because if not at that point, if he doesn't plan on doing, if he just wants to do that and he doesn't want to show like any charisma, doesn't want to show personality, then at that point it's just like, then just go to AEW, bro.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we gonna see. We definitely gonna see. All right, back to Clash at the Castle, man. We seen WWE Women Tag Team Championships change hands, man. I don't think
Oh,
I could have predict this soon. Really this soon that
yeah.
Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair was going to be losing the Women's Tag Team Championships. I know a lot of speculation. Was on Drew. I mean, excuse me, not Drew, but Damian Priest. Would
Mm,
he lose the title this soon? I mean, they're in Glasgow, Scotland, 30 minutes from Drew McIntyre's hometown. Would they really, so but the Bianca Belair, Jade
mhm,
Cargill, lost the tag team title, triple threat matchup, Alba Fire Aladdin against um Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, man. It was a
mhm.
decent matchup. I was chatting with a buddy on Commission Talk. He's saying Jade Cargill, man, is a little. I don't know if she's that ready. I don't know if she's ready for the moment, the big moment.
Oh
What do you feel
man.
about it?
Dude, so when the match first started, I was like, man, this is a triple tag team match. And it
Hmm.
started like a typical triple tag team match with a lot of just like co- overly choreographed spots. And it was just it was a spot match when it first started, right? People were running in and out of the ring, like there was like little to no tagging, and the match started off kind of hectic. And then Jade Cargill got tagged in the first time. And then I was like, okay, now shit is getting interesting. And it started picking up. The match started getting more interesting. And then they got the heels, which is every other person except for Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. They were like, okay, we got to team up, all four of us, and we got to take these two down. So they started getting some heat on Bianca and Jade Cargill. And then the comeback that that they did, the Jade Cargill, the babyface comeback, it was so terrible. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, man. The match got good at one point, but then after the heat spot, it was just so bad. I'm sorry. Jade Cargill, she was doing so good, man. She was doing so good. And then I think she just got a little bit too excited. I think
Mhm.
and she kind of bit off a little bit more than she can chew. And but luckily the finish kind of made up for all of those mistakes that happened during the match, because I wasn't expecting that finish of, the hometown heroes got
Mhm.
they got the titles, man. And I was like, wow. It kind of almost made me forget all the bullshit that happened during that match.
Yeah.
So overall, it was the finish made it all worth it, I think.
Do you feel like WWE may have sort of moved too fast with Jay Cargill? Meaning, okay, they had sort of broke the news. I think, because I'm just talking about, they broke the news in September, Octoberish, that they, Jay Cargill signed with the company. But she just making appearances. She didn't really have a wrestling match until the Royal Rumble, and sort of they were. I think they knew that she was behind. She was still green. She was coming from
Yeah.
AEW. She didn't learn too much there, but she did her thing there, and they knew the Royal Rumble was coming up, and right after the Royal Rumble, you had WrestleMania, so they were trying to, I think, push the process too fast, but also put her out there. But I think putting her with Bianca Belair was really, really helpful. But I think maybe
Yeah,
she's probably
for
not
sure.
that ready. And then with an atmosphere like Glasgow, Scotland, the crowd, the energy, it's, I know it's, distracting and a lot, but I don't know. I don't know about Jade though. I mean, I think she got a big future. I just don't want to cancel her out right now.
No, they didn't take their time with it. I mean, they did the right thing by holding off on her and taking their time. I don't think they put her out there too soon. I just think that, look, I bet you that spot, that the way that Jade Cargill jumped into that ring, how jumping from the rope into
Mhm.
the ring, I
Yeah.
bet you she's not going to do that again, at least not anytime soon.
Mm.
Jade, she's good. She's a lot better now. Jade Cargill, she's a lot better now. But there's little things like that she needs to realize, like, hey, I don't have to do all of these like outlandish, crazy things to get over. She she was already doing so good in that match. When she got the hot tag, boom, she came in, started taking everyone out. Half of the job is done right there. That's all she needs to do. She doesn't need to fucking jump in from the top rope and do all of these like crazy spots. She doesn't need to do that, because she has the look, she has the presentation. Like, sometimes less is more. And I think if she just realizes, like, hey, I'm over as fuck, I don't have to do all of this to get over, then she'll be fine. Does that
Mhm.
make sense, or am I
No, it
just?
makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. Less is definitely more though, and I think that I think she's overthinking a little bit. She's trying to
That's what it
overthink,
is.
and and
Exactly.
I think Bianca is there also to try to keep her cool and everything. But Bianca could only do but so much. But I think the biggest question
Yeah.
also, where does Bianca and Jay as a tag team go from here? Because most wrestling fans or such, sort of pictured them being tag team champions for a long time. Maybe until I don't know, maybe into the Royal Rumble or such, and because
Yeah,
you didn't know it was a tag team that could beat them. But I think they made the decision because obviously they're in Scotland. We got some hometown women that's from Scotland. Let's put the belt on them. But also
yeah.
maybe Jade is not ready also for the big moment. So where does this tag team go from there? Do we implode them already and have the one-on-one match, or do we wait for that?
I think we wait for that. I think right now to turn, because keep in mind, like in order for that match to happen between Bianca and Jade Cargill, one of them
Hmm.
has to turn heel. Now
Which has got to be
Bianca,
Bianca.
you think so?
If, yeah,
See, if it,
I'm assuming you thinking it's Jade, right?
I mean, I'm thinking it has to be Jade because Bianca, she's the fucking, the I'm a prance around and wave my hair around everywhere and do all this
Yeah,
happy go lucky shit.
yeah, but then Jade, I think, will also get a hard time people cheering for her. If she is sort of the baby face. Now, what happened, this evening at Clash of the Castle or at a, previous event or whatever. I think a lot of people are 50-50 on Jade Cargill. They're not 100% sure if she can really,
Oh no,
really, really do it,
you're right about
So,
that. But you're right about that. But the only thing is like I think she's Jade Cargill is still too new to turn heel right away like that. I think people are just getting used to her. People are just starting to like, cheer for her and accept her as like this super big baby face for them to
mhm.
just be like, all right, fuck all this, forget all of this. She's a heel now. You
Yeah,
know, I
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly, and that's what I was saying. But then I can see Bianca sort of doing that because she could have all the motivation behind her to turn heel. She was the first round women's draft pick. She, and especially after this past year's WrestleMania, been her first WrestleMania in maybe 2 or 3 years, not being in the women's championship matchup. She got all it behind it. Like we
yeah,
lost the titles because of you and all of this. Like so, I can really
yeah.
see it happen and be something new and fresh. So.
So
Yeah,
I think where we got to start talking about Bianca and Cargill, where they go next, is we got to think about before they were champions, Bianca and Jade Cargill. Which show were they drafted to? Are they SmackDown or are they Raw superstars?
SmackDown.
Okay,
SmackDown.
so let's think about who we got over on SmackDown. We got some of the heels are like Piper Niven, Chelsea Green. That's a tag team that they can feud with over there on SmackDown. Who else we got over there? Do we got Nia Jax over there on SmackDown?
Ni- yeah, Nia Jackson's over there as well. She's
I can
queen.
see Jade Cargill feuding with the Nia Jax, for example,
Mhm,
next.
mhm, mhm. Definitely, definitely. I just even the qualifying match they had in the Queen of the Ring. I knew one of them. It had to end in a DQ because that's a matchup. That's a matchup you really can have in the future. So we'll
Yeah,
see. We'll see. Definitely with Bianca and Jade Cargill goes from here. Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn retained his Intercontinental Championship
yeah,
with by way of Alpha Academy, sort of with distractions in a way. Chad Gable trying to use his powers to be and try to get Otis and can't think of the other lady name right now. I can't even think of her name, but yeah,
Maxine Dupree.
Maxine. There you go, Maxine Dupree. Trying to get them to sort of help him though. But no, he didn't get the job done. I can probably see the way Chad Gable looked at the end of the matchup. He looked at distraught it, and I can see him probably introducing, excuse me, the Creed brothers in the mix soon. I don't know if you heard about the Creed brothers possibly joining Gable as a faction, and see what they go down the line though. I was a big fan of him winning at WrestleMania. He didn't get the job done. I don't know how many chances he's gonna have, but hey,
Yeah, dude, that
what-
match was my favorite match of the whole entire show. The Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn, and that's saying a lot, dude. Because I'm not a really big fan of Sami Zayn, but lately he's been getting over with me. I don't know what it is, and I love this match, dude. This match, they had such great fucking wrestling in that match. Like when we're talking about wrestling, this was the best wrestling that we saw all night.
Mhm.
And just kind of to add like the icing on the cake, the drama, the gaga that happened with Chad Gable and Otis,
Yeah.
and that storyline is building up in a big way. That just added like way more entertainment to this match. That this already great match. I was a little disappointed that Sami Zayn retained. I kind of want to see Chad Gable get
Mhm.
his title run finally, but I wasn't even that mad that Sami Zayn retained, man, because this is just gonna go back to the Chad Gable and Otis storyline, which a lot of people are excited about because they're dying to see Otis turn on Chad Gable. So it was everything about this match was just it was fucking great.
Yeah, it was nice, man. I think most of it that definitely was entertaining for me. It just when is Otis is gonna do the move? When is he gonna turn on Chad Gable? They've been, like you said, building it for the last 3 weeks or so, especially on Monday Night Raw. You thought maybe he was gonna take out Gable. He didn't. He's like, I'm gonna follow you, Master Gable, and then the week after the same thing. But my also question too, where I mean, Chad Gable was gonna be all right after this. I mean, I'm hearing maybe the Creed brothers joining him. Where does Otis go from here? Otis was a solo act at one point as well, and he
Yeah,
was aligned with Alpha Academy. So I mean, after this big moment and this big payoff with Chad Gable, I mean, what
yeah.
I want to know if they have anything next planned for Otis. I mean, what's
Oh,
next for that? So
that's
I
a
think
good
that's the big question.
that is a bit that's the big question. That's a good question because when it comes to Chad Gable, man, he's set. He has a
Yeah.
feud with Otis. You can add the Creed brothers there. So whichever way they end up going with Chad Gable's he's gonna be good. Now, if they decide to go, well, let's add the Creed brothers and let's have Chad Gable lead the Creed brothers, and so now we have Otis that's gonna be kind of feuding with Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. Is he gonna be by himself? It's just that's kind of scary to think about.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man. Otis, the only thing that will save Otis to or really help him get over is do the feud with Chad Gable, turn on Chad Gable, and let's see Otis beat the crap out of Chad Gable. Now because this match is finally we came to a conclusion, this was a big blow off that we saw versus Sami Zayn today at Clash at the Castle. I think the turn, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen now. It's gonna happen on Monday Night Raw. And
Mhm.
hopefully they go that way, for the sake of Otis. Because other than that, man, I don't know what else you can do with Otis, man. Like
Mm.
people love that guy, and
Yeah.
they've had opportunities that they can take advantage with Otis to get him over, and they just for some reason they just pull the plug. But this is Papa H's era. When Otis had the Money in the Bank briefcase, Vince McMahon was in
So
charge.
you stole the words out my mouth.
That's not the case anymore. That's
Yeah.
not the case anymore. So maybe now we're gonna be seeing Otis finally get his time in the sun.
Okay. Hey, we'll see, man. Hopefully this Monday night on Raw, it's the night for it to happen. For a lot of things too. You feel like the Uncle Howdy thing is I'm hearing is possibly gonna make his debut Monday
Yeah,
night. You know.
according to the QR code. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to read them, trying to like break them. I'm not good at it though, but I know the one they did last night on SmackDown. It was two of them actually, and I know it was like
Yeah.
I I know one of them was like, "Thank you for your patience. Your patience gonna be
Yeah.
rewarded or whatever." Last night was a countdown. I know, and
Yeah.
so I don't know,
It was a
man.
countdown. It was a countdown that led to Monday Night Raw.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Cause the way I was looking at it, I thought it said 3 hours. It was a 3 hour countdown. Oh,
No,
was it the 3 hour?
it was 3 days.
Oh,
Yeah.
3 days. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mm. All right, man. Okay, that's gonna be something to talk about. Definitely something to talk about. As I was mentioned, also to go and get back into the WWE TNA relationship. Last night TNA against all odds, and I know you said you haven't got into it just yet, or taking some
Nah.
time. I'm just getting sort of back into it. I was watching it in like 2012, real big, man, 2012, 2013 ish, and they just was hopping around network. One moment they were on Spike TV, the next moment they were on Pop. It was just like you couldn't keep up with them. But they went back to TNA after being Impact Wrestling for a while. And they've been making some waves though, definitely making some waves. I mentioned the TNA WWE working relationship. Jordan Grace has been the first woman to cross over, come over to WWE with the Knockouts Championship. She was on NXT, defended that battleground against Roxanne Perez. She had an open challenge last
Yeah.
night. Tatum Paxley of NXT uh,
Mm.
opened her challenge, accepted her open challenge. Um, what's your? I was wondering. I knew someone was going to be it. Didn't know who. How you feel about this relationship in a way, and who would you like to? Any fantasy dream matches you would like to see cross over?
So this
Any,
girl that we're seeing right now, Tatum Paxi, you said?
yeah, Tatum Paxley. That's her
So
name.
so she's
Haven't
from
seen much of.
NXT. She's from
Yeah,
NXT,
she's yeah.
and she showed up on TNA.
Yeah, she showed up on TNA last night. She accepted Jordan
Oh
Grace
shit! I
open
didn't
challenge.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Jordan.
that's amazing. Um, because we could be hopefully we could be seeing more people from the WWE or NXT go over to TNA, and that will probably make me want to watch TNA now. If we
Yeah,
get more people like that, instead of just having like people come over from TNA over to the WWE, yeah, that's cool, but uh, I want to see more of this happen. So it looks
yeah,
like they're just getting started, so they're kind of like slowly but surely easing their way into doing this crossover more. So this is the first time I'm hearing about this Tatum Paxi going over to TNA. That's fucking
yeah,
amazing. That is
yeah. It is.
dope, man.
And on Tuesday, on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, CM, I said CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, said he was talking to Trick Williams, and he mentioned how it's more people are going to come over this Tuesday from other brands, more likely TNA, in a battle royal to find out who's going to be the number one contender for Trick Williams NXT Championship. So
hmm
it's a big speculation, man. This whole crossover event, I think, is excellent, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of us probably wanted this back in the days if WCW and WWE sort of can get along, but of course,
Right.
that didn't happen. WWE put WCW out of business, and we all know the rest is history, though. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's a fun time to be a wrestling fan, though. Definitely a fun time. It's speculation and possibility, especially with seeing Cody Rhodes bleed with The Rock, and with this match also, WWE is possibly planning on bringing back WWE Bad Blood.
Mm.
And I got to get your thoughts on it. I think the last time we had it was 2004. Uh,
Oh shit.
but yeah, and of course WWE has been very they shied away from it and stayed away from the whole blood concept of not the whole coloring idea. How do you feel about it, and if that's a move that WWE Bad Blood could return?
How do I feel about the pay per view, or how do I feel
Yeah,
about
yeah.
blood
How do you
in
feel?
general
Both,
in wrestling?
both. Yeah, both.
Uh Um, the Bad Blood pay per view back. The last one was 2004, and they want to
Yeah,
bring it back.
2004. Yeah, 2004. Thinking about possibly bringing it back. You know, I don't
Damn,
know.
dude,
I think it.
you're hitting me with some stumpers, man. I wasn't prepared for all this, dude. Nah,
I, I
nah,
think
man.
it would
Yeah,
be. I think it would be excellent. Especially with WWE. This is the first time being on a show too, and I talked about this with WWE making huge moves with them going to Netflix,
yeah,
possibly not being PG no more.
yeah.
Shit, we've been seeing some crazy shit that ain't this
Look,
way not PG over
look.
the week. So
I I wouldn't really care if they brought it back, dude, because like it's not going to be the same. It's not the same. It's never the same. I mean, they brought back the American Bash, which was a big deal back in the day. The American Bash was like probably one of my favorite pay-per-views back in the day. And they brought it back for NXT and it's just like it doesn't feel
Mm,
like the American Bash. So if they
yeah,
brought back the Bad Blood, okay, it's not going to be the same. So if they bring it back, whatever. But when it comes to just like blood in general, we saw Cody Rhodes get busted open. Um yeah, I mean, it's cool if it makes sense. It's cool if it's like if it means something, but if they're just fucking doing it all the time, then it's
yeah,
pointless.
yeah. No, we definitely don't want to see a John Moxley though. You know, every
Nah,
match is just pouring down blood. For no
nah,
reason though.
nah.
All
Not me.
right.
Not me. I don't know. I don't know. I
Uh,
don't want to see that shit.
Okay, we gonna get back to that real fast. Bailey won her Bailey retained her women's championship against Piper Niven. You feel like Bailey's getting a little overshadowed by everything that's going on with every other woman that's on the roster. You got Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and you got Liv Morgan who's doing her thing on Monday Night Raw, and just so many other people. Other women's in the division. I think Bailey is sort of getting overlooked with
Oh,
this championship run, especially.
damn it, Dre. You making me think, man. No, that's a good question. I never thought about that before. Nah, I don't think she's getting overshadowed because Liv Morgan, she's involved in this big storyline with the Judgment Day. But I really liked how Bailey put over Piper Niven. I know, and I'm
Mm,
not saying that like okay, putting her over means that Piper Niven beat Bailey. That's not what happened. Obviously, Bailey
mhm.
won, but Bailey managed to make me and if this worked on me, this probably worked for a lot of fans. Made me look at Piper Niven in a different way that I've never seen Piper Niven ever before. Like Piper Niven before was like dude drop. She was just like, you know,
Yeah.
nobody basically. But Bailey put Piper Niven over as like, hey, you're a threat. You're a force to reckon with. You've done so many things outside of the WWE. You've won championships, and I was really into this match because of that. So Bailey, maybe some people will say that she's getting overshadowed, but Bailey, in a way, is putting people over. Like
Yeah. She
if you
is. There's no doubt.
if you're feuding with Bailey, then you're going to be involved in something good. And that's what happened with Piper Niven. So, hey, maybe Bailey is not involved in like this big dramatic storyline like Liv Morgan or anything like that. But Bailey's opponents, like her opponent tonight with Piper Niven, they shined. And I'm pretty sure Piper Niven got a standing ovation. Yes, it's her hometown, but like
Mhm.
Piper Niven, she's a completely different person now, and it's a lot of that has to do with Bailey. So
Yeah. Yeah, man. Look at it. I said it. I said a point a couple of weeks ago how it seemed like every year or two you start to get these women who get these big opportunities. I remember when Bianca Belair, I think it was 2020, 2021, where she started to take over. Then right after her, you had Rhea Ripley with the whole mommy thing, and then you got Liv
yeah.
Morgan, who's hot right now, and she's the women's world champion. Piper Niven could definitely be another one who could get some momentum behind them and really take off. I think the women's division has not let you down at all since the whole evolution. They have really definitely taken over though. But Bailey retains her championship. I think I think maybe just because the whole dramatic of every all the other storylines that the women are in feels as though maybe Bailey is not getting um the big spotlight though, but that's just me though. That's just me. That's
Mm,
just me. Okay. We've seen the main event matchup, Clash at the Castle, man. Drew McIntyre taking on the World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest, the big conversation. leading up to this match. Is Damian Priest a transitional champion? Will Drew McIntyre lose twice at Clash at the Castle in his hometown, sort of? And well, Drew McIntyre did lose twice, and Damian Priest. I don't know if he's quite a transitional champion, but he still is the World Heavyweight Champion. And my guy Slim from STR, appreciate you for commenting. He said, "In Punk, we trust." Earlier in the show, how do you feel about Damian Priest retaining the championship real fast? Because once they barred Judgment Day from ringside, I said, man, because I kept saying to myself, man, they made the matchup. Priest is going to take on Drew for the heavyweight championship. You would think Drew, there's no way Drew could lose twice in his hometown, sort of at Scotland, the same Clash at the Castle, but he did. Like his wife is in emergency surgery, all this other stuff, and like I lost again. I mean, I know it's a bigger picture down the road, and CM Punk was the reason he lost his championship twice. Once at WrestleMania, we seen where Drew McIntyre won. He won against Seth freaking Rollins. He beat him, but he wanted to rub it in some more, and CM Punk attacked him, and we seen Priest come out there and cash in. And tonight the referee gets knocked down, and out comes CM Punk as a another referee in a way, and Drew McIntyre gets screwed again. How'd you feel if you Drew McIntyre though, in a way?
Ah, man. In Punk, we trust. Dre, let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you. Let me
Yes.
answer your question with another question.
Okay.
Would you rather see Drew McIntyre become champion tonight in his hometown? So then later on, we could see him defend the title versus a bunch of random people, or would you rather see Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk somewhere down the line in some PLE or something like that, and maybe we get a good storyline with these two, which we were already seeing. But so I asked you that if you had to choose, like, do you prefer to see Drew McIntyre win the title, or do you prefer to see Drew McIntyre feud with CM Punk? Which one would you choose?
Well, that's a tricky one because I feel like if Drew McIntyre won the title, he could still feud with CM Punk. You've been feuding with him all up until now. Well, basically all but since the Royal Rumble, So, he could have won the title. Drew, I mean, Damian Priest he's not having random championship matches with anybody. So I guess you
No,
know I,
no,
I'm. I'm a long booker, I like the story, I'm here for the story. So I think the biggest story that's on Monday Night Raw,
yeah,
probably besides maybe, if the Uncle Howdy thing, appears, is Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Everything they've been doing. I can see the big blow off matchup coming somewhere at SummerSlam. And then, of course, if you put the title on Drew, then you also got Gunther. So Gunther is going to win at SummerSlam. So Drew McIntyre got to lose it again. So
well, shit.
that's
My question backfired. No, I'm kidding. No, the only reason I,
no,
the only reason I asked that question is because I had a feeling, and I'm not saying like, oh, like I knew everything, and I'm so wrestling smart, whatever. But I knew this was gonna happen because, like, okay, to me, it just made more sense that it's bigger. You talked about it having a bigger picture down the line. It's better. It's bigger for Drew McIntyre's career to feud with CM Punk right now than to win the championship. So I'm like, yes, he's in his hometown. Yes, it would be a great moment for him to get the big pop, but it's going to be way more bigger. It's going to be way more important for Drew McIntyre to have a CM Punk feud in his career than having that World Heavyweight Championship in his career. And I think that's kind of how they were kind of going about things after the outcome that we saw tonight. They obviously think the same thing too. They were like, okay, a CM Punk feud with Drew McIntyre is a bigger draw. It's going to make more money. It's going to get more attention. We can get more storylines out of this. We can get a big feud out of this compared to Drew McIntyre win the championship tonight.
I got you. No, definitely, definitely. I definitely got you, man. And I think it, makes much sense for him to not win the world heavyweight championship right now. And of course, let Finn Balor, well not Finn Balor, but Damian Priest takes on Gunther. If Priest still is the champion by SummerSlam, do that.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
also that's also a way to protect Drew McIntyre too, because you already know if Gunther gets a title shot, when he gets his title shot, he's not losing. So
mhm.
who is better off putting Gunther over, Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre? Right now, I don't think Drew McIntyre should be doing any jobs um
Mm,
like that to people, especially to like people like Gunther. So I
mm,
just think the right guy won tonight. The right guy being Damian Priest won. He retained, and it just makes sense.
okay. Definitely. I got you, my guy. Definitely got you. Well, look here, man. Snug, man, wrestling. I appreciate you for coming through here on the 11:30 podcast show. Been a great time vibing with you, my guy. Definitely can't wait to come on your show, chop it up with you, man, and chat more wrestling, man, for sure.
Hell
Uh, but
yeah.
but before you go, man, tell everyone where they can catch your podcast, where they can follow you at, and also if you have any questions, shout outs, anything you'd like to say.
Yeah, hell yeah. You can find me at Snug Wrestling. That's SNUG Wrestling everywhere on every fucking platform you can think of, including OnlyFans and Christian Mingle. No, I'm just kidding. No, no, yeah, at Snug Wrestling. Dre, thank you so much, man, for having me. And we'll talk soon, man. I can't wait to have you on my show next.
Hey man, I look forward to it having you on, man. It's gonna be definitely a vibe. Everyone, man, the links will be down below, man, shortly. Definitely make sure you go and subscribe to Snug Wrestling Podcast and tell them that Dre, aka Dre on Wheels from the 11:30 podcast, definitely sent you over there, man. For real. It's been a wonderful episode. We're gonna wrap it up here. And until next time, you guys, before I go, I want to thank everyone for tuning in and stopping by this past Wednesday on the 200 episode of the 11:30 podcast, man. It was really dope, real fun. Thank everyone for the major support. And the next episode will be this Wednesday. Talk Pro Wrestling next Saturday. But until next time, you guys, for myself, Dre, aka Dre on Wheels, my guy, Agar, yo, be out, man. Peace.
Later.
Thank you, my guy.